Hey everybody, WILDMAN here, and it was a rainy evening this day, so I decided to do my workout in the gym. And I'm going to be doing the flat bench press, and I'm going to be starting off with high reps, but working up to a working rep max today. As I'm going up in weight, I'm also going to be carrying the trap bar in a farmer's walk, but I'm going to be using the same weight the entire time. And that's going to be the strength giant set for the day. And I apologize if the sound isn't sounding very good right now for the microphone because my phone got a little wet in the rain, so the microphone might be a little jacked up. Now, the bar that I'm using today, that's actually an Olympic weightlifting bar. It's not a typical like powerlifting bar or even a normal barbell. That bar's got a lot of whip on it. So it's kind of different to train with it because since it's so whippy, when I move quickly, like as I'm going up in the beginning, I'm doing a lot of reps. I'm doing mainly 6 reps and then working to 3 reps and then working up to a working rep max. But as I'm going up and I'm moving quickly, that bar whips, which is kind of good for right now because that's what I kind of need to do because that whip actually stimulates my chest a lot more. That's why I'm kind of using this bar today because I want to make sure that I'm stimulating the chest a lot better. And as that bar gets heavier, you'll see that I'm going to be moving in a much more controlled manner because I don't want it to whip. Otherwise, it's going to throw me out of my groove. So it's really going to make sure that I'm hammering my technique correctly. And that's why I really like training on this bar, although I might not be able to go up and max weight like I typically want to. And I'm being a little silly because those blue plates are actually 35 pounds. Those red plates are 45 pounds. In CrossFit gyms, typically blues are a way of their jargon culture of saying 45 pounds, meaning like I hit 3 blues today, I hit 4 blues today, or 5. As I hit that hook right there and almost came down on myself, sheesh. I had to adjust the bench just a little bit more. But I am being a little silly because I've never done that before. I've never just added the weight with just the blues. I typically load the same way with the reds because those are 45 pounds. So the idea was to start with blues on each side, then add that 15-pound bumper plate to each side, take that off, add another blue, and just keep going up in that matter. And I really was kind of second guessing the weight. I really didn't know what the weight was, which I kind of liked because that also throws a new stimulus to my weight training. But now I was coming up to my working rep set because I wanted to hit 4 blues, whatever that was. Whatever that weight was, I didn't care what it was. I wanted to hit it for at least 1. And it turned out to be 325 pounds. My math was 315 pounds. But when I actually did the math on the calculator when I was done, it ended up being 325 pounds, which is a good working rep right there. Wasn't trying to hit big weight, at least my max. I was just trying to go up nice and easy with the blues and hit those 4, and that was it. Now for the variation giant set, I moved the bench up just 1 click and made it an incline bench press. And again, I'm going to be using the blues, or a 6-rep max with 3 blues on it, doing 6 reps all the way up. But I upped the weight on the trap bar now to 255 pounds by adding a red 45 to each side. A lot of people like to argue that 1 click up on the flat bench is not an incline bench. It needs to be a lot higher. That way you're activating your shoulders a lot more, which is true. The higher the incline bench, the harder it is. And your shoulders will get a lot more activated. But I like to add 1 click up because that changes the stimulus dramatically. And I'm still practicing the same bench press movement patterns as I am with the flat bench. And I do find that even with just 1 click up, it does carry over into overhead press very well, as if it was a high incline bench press. But everybody has their preference. I prefer the 1 click up method. I feel like that I get a lot more for bench and overhead press when I do 1 click up. So that's my recommendation if you're going to do the incline bench press, is to make it so you do 1 click up just so you can get the same exact movement patterns as you would if you were doing the flat bench press. Now you're probably wondering, I thought this whole entire video was supposed to be about how carrying objects is good for your shoulder and overall health. So that's going to be the assistance giant set right here, which is going to be 3 rounds. And now I'm going to go for a 10-meter max walk with the trap bar. And as I go up on the trap bar, I'm also going to be doing hand release push-ups in between. This is a great exercise to do if you want to get power on the bench press from the chest and then to the midway point where your triceps have to take over. This is like step 1 in order to getting that bar up there and then working your triceps separately to get them strong. And you can see I started off light and then gradually moved to now where I'm doing heavy loads. This is really good for your shoulders because all that pressing you did can really impinge your shoulders. But doing a movement like this in conjunction with your pressing pulls your shoulders down and away from the bone to give it some cushion. And you can see it's tearing up my hands. I really wanted to go for a higher set today, but I was worried because that trap bar was tearing up my hands. And once you tear your hands, it's really hard to weight lift after that for the next couple days. So this is gonna be the most amount of weight that I've ever farmer carried. So the idea was just to kind of like work up and see what I can do. And this actually ended up being a little too easy, but again, it was tearing up my hands. So I don't want to go too heavy too quick and tear up my hands really bad. But doing carries like that definitely saves your shoulders. And if you do them quite frequently, not only will you get naturally strong for real life events, but you'll also save your shoulders. Now for the accessory giant set, I was also doing some horizontal tricep extensions, which I really love to do on my bench press days because it's overhead, and I like doing overhead triceps on my bench press days. Then I really finished off my chest by doing those pec flies for a lot of reps. Not a lot of weight, but a lot of reps. Trying to get that pump into that chest after it was torn up by all that bench pressing that I was doing and the hand release push-ups. And of course face pulls, and what an awesome shot this is. The face pulls definitely keeps your shoulders healthy long term along with those farmer carries. And that was the total workout for the day. Really appreciate everybody stopping by, and I hope you learned something new, and I'll see you next time.